I'm America's Digital Pro, Kim Komando. Hey, and welcome to Tech News This Week. It's where we give you the top stories, the scams, security alerts, and tell you about the crazy happenings in this world of tech. Coming up, we now know for sure that Alexa and a ton of Amazon employees really are listening to your conversations on your Echo. We've got the shocking details.
I'm Mike James. We're also going to tell you about the latest broadcasting standard, Next Gen TV, and how it'll affect your privacy.
Plus, as ride-sharing keeps getting more popular, your safety is actually more at risk. We're going to tell you how to protect yourself from the fake Uber and Lyft drivers.
Google wants to use your smartphone as a physical key to add another layer of protection to your accounts.
And later on, a robotic vacuum that led to a tense police situation. So who really got arrested there? All that and more is coming up in Tech News This Week from the newsroom at Komando.com. And first, let's thank our partners because they help make these podcasts possible. When it comes to hiring, you don't have time to waste. You need help getting to your short list of qualified candidates fast. That's why you need Indeed.com. Post a job in minutes. Set up screener questions. Then zero in on qualified candidates using an intuitive online dashboard. And when you need to hire fast, accelerate your results with sponsored jobs. New users can try it free at Indeed.com/Kim. That's Indeed.com/Kim. Terms, conditions, and quality standards apply.
We start with Alexa and the news that shouldn't really be all that surprising, but it does confirm what we've always assumed, and the details are pretty disturbing. If you've ever wondered if Alexa is listening to you, and I don't mean when you ask about the weather, then the answer is a resounding yes. Alexa really is listening to your conversations, along with potentially thousands of Amazon employees. That's right, millions of people, tens of millions of people actually, have smart speakers with voice assistants in their homes, like Alexa, a Google Assistant, and Siri, and there's always been this big question surrounding your privacy. What are they actually listening to, and what are they storing? We've seen cases in the past where Alexa has recorded entire conversations and then, quote, accidentally sent them to another person. So we know your conversations are being heard, but these details, they're pretty shocking. So Amazon has thousands of people around the world who work to improve Alexa, and they listen to voice recordings from homes and offices. Then they transcribe them, annotate them, and feed them back into the system as a way to improve Alexa's understanding of human speech. Now, Bloomberg spoke with 7 people who have worked on the program, saying the team is all over the world and that each person goes through about 1,000 audio recordings each 9-hour shift, but not all the work is mundane. They share files through internal chat rooms when they need help figuring out what was said or when they heard something they thought was funny. So these workers also told Bloomberg that they heard things that you would most definitely want to keep private. Intimate moments like a woman singing in the shower, embarrassingly off-key, or frightening ones like a child screaming for help. Now, some of what they hear is extremely upsetting, like recordings of potential crimes, for instance, sexual assaults. A couple of the employees said that when they requested guidance, they were told it wasn't Amazon's job to interfere. Yeah, unbelievable. Amazon emailed Bloomberg a statement saying they only annotate extremely small samples of Alexa voice recordings in order to improve customer service. They went on to say that employees don't have access to information that can identify who they're listening to, and that's all treated with high confidentiality. I'm not sure. Check out additional details at Komando.com, along with information on how you can disable the microphone on your smart speakers, as well as delete stored recordings. Here are a few audio clips of Amazon CEO Jeff Besos from over the years.
So first, you have to listen to customers. Companies that don't listen to customers fail. Second, you have to invent for customers. It's not the customer's job to invent for themselves. You need to listen to customers. It's critical. If you don't listen to customers, you'll go astray. But they won't tell you everything, and so you need to invent on their behalf.
Yeah, you're not kidding, Jeff. You're listening to your customers, all right. We just didn't know how closely until now. When you think about 5G, what's the first thing that comes to mind? Probably the extra fast speed. That's usually the headline. And yeah, it's going to be fast, but let me tell you, it's not just about surfing the web faster or downloading movies in a couple of seconds. 5G is going to allow more devices to work together. Think about advancements in your home smart gadgets, connected cars, even connected smart cities. The possibilities are endless, and there's quite a few you might not have even considered, like the future of how you watch TV. Utilizing tech like 5G ATSC 3.0 is a new broadcasting standard on the way. Next-gen TV, as it's being called, has been in development for years. And just this week, a group of TV stations announced their big plans for it during the National Association of Broadcasters Conference in Las Vegas. Now, here's what Next-Gen TV means for you. Watching over-the-air TV on your smartphone without having to use cell phone service or your data plan. More personalized content like emergency warnings that come through all your devices, from your TV to your smartphone to your car. And the new standard isn't far off. It's already being tested in cities like Dallas and Phoenix, and broadcasters are planning to roll it out in the 40 largest TV markets by the end of next year. Couple of caveats. It's a voluntary system, so it's up to broadcasters in your area to decide what new features will be offered. And the big one, every major advancement is another big hit to your privacy. Every device compatible with this new standard will be like two-way glass. Broadcasters will know what you're watching and for how long, which means more targeted advertising. Think commercials about products, even political ads meant specifically for you. Sure, it's going to be convenient to watch over-the-air TV anywhere on any device, but it's not completely free like they're saying. They're not after your money this time, just more of your personal data, which is far more valuable. Speaking of privacy, it's never been more important to keep your devices and online accounts safe. Passwords just aren't the secure option any longer, and so you've seen a rise in all kinds of security involving biometrics like fingerprints and facial recognition. Then there are some folks and even some companies that prefer using a security key. If it looks like a USB thumb drive or dongle that you have to keep with you, like on your keychain, and you use it in addition to your passwords for two-factor authentication, or 2FA for short, sure, it's an extra layer of protection for your sensitive accounts, but they cost up to $50 a piece. And as you can imagine, it's kind of a pain if you lose it. So if you've got Google accounts, security keys are optional for two-factor authentication. So now they're taking that step further. Google just announced that your smartphone can be used as a physical key to verify your login. It's a good idea. It works for Gmail, Google Cloud, G Suite, and all the Google services. And as an extra perk, it uses two authentication protocols, FIDO and WebAuthn. That'll keep you on real websites, not the fake ones that fish for your information. The only hang-up about this is that your smartphone has to be running Android 7 or higher. Sorry, iPhone owners, at least for now. And the device you're going to use your phone to unlock needs to be Bluetooth equipped, and the Chrome browser installed. Shouldn't be an issue for laptops. Bluetooth definitely isn't built into every desktop. We've got the instructions on how to turn your Android smartphone into a security key for Google accounts over at Komando.com. And as far as 2FA goes, use it for any accounts that have it as an option. But Google, let's hope they can protect your account from malware better than they can on their own Google Play Store. Hey, coming up next, more people are getting hurt when they get into what they think is their Uber or Lyft, and what you need to do to protect yourself. Right now, a word from our partners at Capterra.
As America's digital pro and a successful business owner for over 20 years now, I know it takes the right tools to get the job done. And what's great about owning a business today is that there are so many different software programs designed specifically to save you time and money. And that's why I'm super excited to tell you about Capterra. You have to check this out. At Capterra.com/Kim, you'll find over 700 specific categories of software. Everything from brewery software to email marketing to yoga studio management. Do you like to check reviews of products before you decide? Well, then peruse through over 750,000 reviews on products from real software users. No matter what kind of software your business needs, Capterra makes it easy to discover the right solution fast. Visit Capterra.com/Kim for free today to find the tools to make an informed decision for your business. Capterra.com/Kim. Capterra. That's CAPTERRA.com/Kim. Capterra. Software selection simplified.
Ride-sharing companies like Uber and Lyft have been around for quite a few years now, and they continue to grow. So you have a lot of new concerns. Sure, there's the benefits of being able to hail a ride with a simple app request and to make a little extra money being a driver. But look at some of the incidents that have popped up in the past. I'm talking about hidden cameras live streaming riders, data breaches, and of course having every location that you've ever visited logged. And then there's the problem with fake drivers and people getting hurt, like the 21-year-old college student in South Carolina who was murdered last month after getting into what she thought was her Uber. There's also been reports of sexual assaults, kidnappings, and robberies happening around the country. My niece drove for Uber for a short term, and she was picking somebody up at a bar, and he got a little frisky with her, and so she did actually go on to quit Uber. Doesn't do that anymore. In a recent episode of Tech News Today, we told you some of the basics to make sure you're getting into the right car and how to protect yourself. Well, now we've taken that further and put together a detailed guide with even more tips so you know exactly how to avoid a fake ride-sharing driver and stay safe. For example, when you request a ride and a driver is assigned, check that person's rating. You don't have to accept the first one. Just request a different ride. And take note of what they're driving and what the driver looks like. When they do arrive, double check that it's the right car and driver, checking the license plate too, and give your own pop quiz to the driver asking who they're there to pick up. Make sure that they know your name. Doesn't stop there. Once inside the car, follow the route on your own Maps app to make sure you're actually heading to your destination. And above all, trust your instincts. Again, these are just a few tips to keep you safe the next time you get a ride. We have so much more over at Komando.com. Just look for the story called What to Watch Out For If You Take an Uber or Lyft.
Online scammers are moving away from cons, leading to big money wire transfers. Instead, their phishing emails ask for relatively little cash, but are more dangerous than ever. The other day, my company had $85,000 in bogus charges from online vendors we've never done business with. This scam is still happening, but now their next target is your paycheck. Phishing email pretending to come from your address will ask your payroll department to deposit your paycheck into another bank account, theirs. Or they're going to send a similar email to HR, supposedly from the CEO or another top-level executive. Interestingly, scammers are first targeting the payroll departments of nonprofits. Why? Scammers say that people who work at nonprofits are nice, and they just want to help.
All right, this is scary. I want you to picture this. You're house sitting for a relative who's out of town, and you've just gotten back from walking the dogs. You walk in, and you see the door to the bathroom is closed, which is strange since no one else is supposed to be there. The door is locked, and then you hear noises and see shadows moving under the door. Your heart, of course, is going to skip a beat, and you're going to walk back out that front door and call 911. Within minutes, hopefully, a team of sheriff's deputies arrive and surround the house. Even outside, they can hear noises coming from the locked room. The deputies go inside, guns drawn, and order the person inside to come out. Of course, there's no answer. Then they try a few more times, still nothing. Time's up. Thinking the person might try to escape, deputies burst through the door, and there they find a defiant suspect, which is a Roomba vacuum cleaner. A robotic vacuum cleaner that started its scheduled cleaning while the dog was being walked, managed to lock itself in the bathroom, and now running into the shower door over and over again. It really did happen a couple of days ago in Oregon. The Washington County Sheriff's Office even had a little fun with it on Facebook, posting a photo of the Roomba under a most wanted banner, along with a play-by-play of the response typed in red over the robot, the word captured. They now still have a job to do, so deputies checked the rest of the house before leaving, and the Roomba was released to the custody of its charging base. And since it did such a thorough cleaning in the bathroom, no charges were filed due to lack of evidence.
Robo Calls. Now, to be fair, there's been some good news recently, as the FTC said last month that they shut down 4 big operations responsible for billions of robocalls. Even the phone carriers are starting to get more involved, but will their efforts put a dent in the number of calls? Well, it's really too soon to tell. There's been anything but relief so far. Now, according to this outfit, YouMail, March set a monthly record for the number of robocalls. Are you ready? Okay, just say the number. How many robocalls do you think took place in the month of March? No, you have to go higher. Oh, come on, go higher than that. All right, do you give up? All right, 5.23 billion calls in just a month. Oh my gosh. Do the math, and that's about 168 million robocalls every single day. That's cray-cray. The problem isn't just the sheer number of calls. I'm willing to bet you already get the spoofed calls where the phone number looks like a real business or maybe a nonprofit organization. Then there are the ones that the scammers really hope you'll answer. I have fallen for this one myself. It's when the call comes in. It has the same area code and maybe even the same prefix as you're on. Now, a more familiar number means a better chance that you're actually going to answer the call. Scarier still, this is coming. You might get a call where you see your own phone number along with your own picture on the screen. Because, let me tell you, any number can be spoofed. What's ahead is even more concerning. A recent CNN report says that the future could mean robocalls from numbers that you recognize, like friends and family members. Well, it's not that hard. I mean, it's pretty easy for cyber criminals to figure out who you know through your social media. And let's not forget the billions of records that are available online and the countless data breaches over the past few years. Well, sorry to say, it's going to get worse. The voice on the other end could one day even sound like someone who you know. We've talked about Google's creepy AI that'll call and book a dinner reservation for you. Well, other startups are working on similar tech. In other words, voice manipulation. When you think about a voice, it's just a bunch of bits and bytes, right? So it makes sense that you could manipulate that all around. So future robocalls will use AI that may sound like a person who you know. Of course, trying to trick you into sending them money or giving up some sensitive information, just like today's calls and phishing scams. It's gotten to the point where our smartphone, we're not even going to use it to make phone calls anymore.
More tech news from the Komando.com newsroom is just ahead, coming up in a moment. A new and innovative app wants to help you get some of your privacy back from Facebook and Google. And later, want to hire a celebrity for a personalized shout-out? That's not as hard as you think. Right now, a quick thank you to our amazing partners who help make this podcast possible.
Robinhood is an investing app that lets you buy and sell stocks, ETFs, options, and cryptos, all commission-free. Plus, there's no account minimum deposit needed to get started, so you can start investing at any level. The simple, intuitive design of Robinhood makes investing easy for newcomers and experts alike. View easy-to-understand charts and market data, and place a trade in just 4 taps on your smartphone. With Robinhood, you can learn how to invest in the market as you build your portfolio. Discover new stocks, track your favorite companies, and get custom notifications for price movements so you never miss an opportunity to invest. Robinhood is giving listeners of Komando On Demand a free stock like Apple, Ford, or Sprint to help you build your portfolio. Sign up at invest.robinhood.com, invest.robinhood.com.
Well, you know, we're so deeply plugged into social media these days that untangling ourselves from it seems more difficult than trying to climb a mountain. Even though Facebook, Twitter, and Google have all been caught mishandling our data, most folks don't know the first thing about restoring their online privacy. Well, now here's an app that might help get some of it back, letting you clean up your privacy settings and digital history on a few different platforms. Not just social media, but is it worth the hype? The app supports Twitter, Facebook, and Google, and Amazon Alexa. You know, some of the most notorious data collectors. And since each of those companies use your data in different ways, it has specific settings tailored to each one. Let's take Twitter, for example. Using this new app, you'll be able to delete all those previous possibly embarrassing tweets up to a specific point. Hey, we were all young once. Now, if you really love to use Twitter, or used to anyway, keep in mind that you can only delete 3,200 tweets at a time. Even if you have a Guinness record number of tweets, you hopefully shouldn't have to repeat that step more than a couple of times. And you have the option to archive them on your phone if you're not looking to get rid of them completely. For Facebook, the app has what it calls a smart privacy setting with varying degrees of intensity. It's a sliding menu that lets you decide how deep you want to go, changing the settings for things like account visibility, facial recognition, and ads. You can also delete your search history and voice recordings on Google and Amazon, which, as you know, is used for targeted ads and recommendations. Using the app, you can also purge that history completely. In Google's case, you can dump your search history up to a certain point, like you can with the Google Chrome browser. Now, if you want to give it a try, look for the free app called Jumbo. Yes, there is a catch. It's only available at the Apple App Store, and it's only available on the iPhone. You can learn about all the features, including how to set it up, over at Komando.com. Just know it's not a fix-all solution. Now more than ever, your best bet when it comes to online privacy is adjusting your own habits. Read the privacy policy for anything you sign up for and make sure you know what you're agreeing to. If only we knew then what we know now about our online data. This app should help, but unfortunately time travel is not an option yet.
Forget regular doorbells. Video doorbells let you see and speak with whoever is outside and also record visitors at your door while you're home or away. And in a surprise turn, thieves love them. Video doorbells are selling like crazy. They're simple to install, and because the cameras work on Wi-Fi along with an app, you can see who's at your door anytime, anywhere. They're pretty easy to spot by the door, too. Throughout the country, video doorbells are being ripped off homes and capturing thieves, often in disguise. Some believe that these crooks are would-be porch pirates. Makes sense. So if you have a video doorbell, make sure it's properly installed using the maker's mounts. If yours does get stolen, get a police report. Video doorbell manufacturers will often give you a free replacement if yours is stolen. Here's the deal. If you have an iPhone 6S or newer, you probably know that you can wake it up by saying, "Hey Siri."
I'm here.
Yes, that was my phone.
I thought so.
Isn't she great? The one time that you don't want Siri to work, she does. Siri can be helpful in certain situations, but as economy news site Quartz reports, it's also possible for someone else to do the same thing with your iPhone. Here's the problem. When you first set up the Hey Siri feature on your new iPhone, she didn't come on that time. Yes. The software over time tries to learn your voice. Siri's just not so good at distinguishing voices, and she never has been. So if someone finds an iPhone and has a voice that's close enough to the person who owns it, they could do things like tell Siri to call the last number dialed, or pick a random name out of the phone book. Basically, guess about someone in your contact list, and then make that call or text message. All they have to do is say the wake word or hold down the home button if it's not one of the iPhone 10 variations. Now, from a law enforcement standpoint, you might remember a few years ago when Apple said, "Oh no, there's no way that we can unlock the iPhone owned by the San Bernardino shooter for the FBI." They said privacy. But as Quartz points out, this newly found loophole could allow officers to figure out if you know someone else just by asking Siri to find that person in your contacts. And I know what you're thinking. What about Amazon, Alexa, and Google Voice? Oh, you're so smart. Okay, they can differentiate voices well enough that they allow for multiple people to access the same device. Siri's way behind on that, even though Apple said, "Don't worry, we're working on it." So how do you prevent this from happening to you? Well, you have to go into your iPhone settings and you look for Siri and search as you scroll down that list. Once you tap on it, you have two options. You can either turn off the feature that allows Siri to respond when the phone is locked, or just toggle that option, listen for Hey Siri, turn that off to shut it down completely. And speaking of Apple, over at Komando.com, we've got a great story about Apple's latest advertising campaigns. They're making everything about your privacy, but that's going to be a problem until they figure out how to make Siri as smart as the other smart assistants out there. Until then, just assume the word privacy, well, it's not in Siri's vocabulary.
Well, finally this week, are you still having trouble figuring out what to get your best friend for his birthday or deciding what your mom would want for Mother's Day? How about a shout out from a celebrity? If you haven't heard of Cameo, it's a platform where you can book celebrities from actors and athletes to people you didn't even know existed and then have them record a brief personalized message on camera, of course. And these celebrities are looking to get paid, and prices can vary anywhere from a few bucks to a few $1,000s. Ever heard of the voice actor Brian Beacock? Well, I can't even say his name, so I'm sure you figured out I haven't heard of him either. But you can get him to record a personalized video for $15, or maybe you watch the NBC hit This Is Us. For $125, you can book Chris Sullivan, better known as Toby, from that show. How about a birthday message from NFL great Brett Favre? Yeah, he's available, but a special recording from the former Green Bay quarterback will set you back $500. Actually, I thought that would be more. Wouldn't you? I mean, he's probably a pretty busy guy. And there's athlete turned TV personality Caitlyn Jenner. That personalized message will cost you $2,500. One thing to note, though, prices are subject to change, so if your mom would like nothing more than a personal shout-out from Bachelor host Chris Harrison, better act now. Well, he still costs only $4.75. Or you could stick with the Hallmark cards and a dozen roses for a total of about $40. You know, that always seems to work. Hey, once you're done listening to the tech news this week, be sure to check out the latest episode of Komando on Demand. We cover data collection. Now, you might have already accepted the fact that sites like Google, Twitter, and Amazon collect your data, but what may surprise you is the wide variety of other businesses that are also collecting your data. And learn about the new list that names the worst companies for data privacy on the latest Komando On Demand podcast. And while you're at it, take a look at the big stories that are trending over at Komando.com. Keeping your sensitive financial information safe with all the recent data breaches, you might need to rethink the way you pay for things. Plus, find out which wireless carrier has the fastest network. The answer is going to surprise you. And we've been talking about 5G for years, but it's finally become a reality. Learn where it's rolling out and where people are already starting to use it. Those stories and more over at Komando.com, and you're up to date from Tech News This Week. And by the way, every week on Kim's national radio show, she answers questions from people just like you who want to live their best digital life ever. And whether it's a family problem or business issue, if you're wondering how to get things done, you can make an appointment to speak with Kim. Use our dedicated caller line and leave a message at 602-381-8200, extension 290. Again, that number is 602-381-8200, extension 290. Leave a message to talk to Kim on the air, and a producer will get back to you. Thanks for listening. We'll see you next week.